This is it. Okay, we'd like to go ahead and get started with the Kaysville Planning Commission. I want to welcome all of you out here, and hopefully you'll be entertained. Oh, no, we'd stop that. So, the first item on the agenda is approval of minutes from meeting of May 24th.
I'll make a motion that we approve minutes from May 24th, 2018.
Second.
Aye.
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 Okay. Conditional use permit for farm animals at 55 South, 760 East for Brian and Heather Whitehead.
Good. I'll introduce this, and Mr. Whitehead is here, so if you have additional questions after I'm done talking. They live just east of us on the property you can see within your packet and on the map just off of 760 East, right in the middle of the block. And they have just over half an acre of property. They're hoping to keep goats and chickens or hens on the property. They do have them, so when I went out there and visited with Ms. Whitehead and inspected the property, you could see their pens and the condition that it's in. They've got plenty of space based on our ordinance and requirements, based on the number of animals they have. Currently there are 2 goats, about 7 hens. For my calculations, it doesn't sound like there's an intent to go above and beyond that, but as an example, they could have 3 goats and as many as 17 hens, or different combinations, but it allows for a little bit extra should they have a desire. There are other animals right there in the proximity as well, so it's probably been a little while since we've done it, but there's some llamas that have come before the Planning Commission on one of these properties and other similar, so it kind of fits right in with the ambience. For my inspection, things look like they're in good shape. And because of that, staff's recommending approval of the request without additional conditions. But again, he's here if you have any other questions or need for clarification.
Okay. Who is Mr. Whitehead? Oh, I didn't know if it was. Would you like to step up? I'm sure that. Do you have any further comments?
No, I mean, that's basically what we're trying to do. So.
Okay. Have you done this before?
No.
Oh, good. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
So.
I don't have any questions.
Okay.
I'll move we grant a conditional use permit for farm animals for Brian and Heather Whitehead at 55 South, 760 East.
Second.
Aye.
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 Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Enjoy.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Fun.
Our next item is a public hearing to rezone 3.3 acres of property. Would you like to introduce that?
Yeah, absolutely. And then we'll open it up to the public, as you just stated. So the property just off of Smith Lane is right next to a new subdivision that the same developer put together under the same zoning. So just to give you an idea, it's currently agricultural zoned. They're requesting that R1 LD, R for residential, 1 for single family, and the LD is the low density zoning district. It allows development to be no more than 2 units an acre. But we're seeing this used a little more as it allows for some flexibility in lot size. Again, they could be as small as 12,000 square feet in size, but the overall density still cannot exceed 2 units per acre. Surrounding the area, so again, you see the same zone on a subdivision directly east and north of it. There's a lot of R120 in the, I'm going to say, I believe it's Tyler Estates subdivision. They're off Tyler's Way. So very similar, certainly as far as density, compatible. The likely scenario, though we don't have a subdivision application before you, the applicant has submitted together with a rezone request, we'll call it a concept plan, although it's fairly detailed, showing the likely scenario and how it would be developed. So a cul-de-sac of some sorts. There are 2 homes currently along Smith Lane. The property owners that are participating with the rezone, I believe, intend to keep those homes there, and there's space to put a road or access between them to access. In this scenario, it shows 4 new lots. So 6 total lots on 3 acres meets the density, and that would be something you might expect should you recommend approval of the zone. It could be that as part of your recommendation, should you feel that the zoning itself is desirable, if there are any comments towards this for the developer before they come back with the subdivision plat, it may be a good time to steer that if you think that's necessary. Again, we're looking for a public hearing to take comments from the public and ultimately a recommendation from the Planning Commission. based on how you feel it fits with the immediate neighborhood and the general plan.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for staff before we open it?
No.
Okay, we'll go ahead and open the public hearing if anyone would like to speak. Okay, well, go ahead and close.
So from what I'm seeing here, it looks like, Phil Holland with, right up here in the front. You want to step up to the lectern for a minute?
Yes.
So,
Sorry, I'm filling in for Phil. My name's Justin Atwater. But
Justin
I am
Atwater,
yes.
fabulous, duly noted. So from what I'm seeing here, it looks as though, so the existing home in Lot 1 will stay, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then the existing home in Lot 6 will stay,
Correct.
right? And then it looks like, what is that? Are those two outbuildings there on like a barn or something, which would be in Lot 5?
Yes.
And then Lot 2 and 3 kind of looks like it halves that building in half, so that'll be raised as well, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So really, you're just looking at building on 4 lots.
That is correct. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, and the owner of Lot 1, we are buying that property, so we'll sell that home. He's not staying.
He's not, okay.
He's not staying. But we will not raise the home. It'll be marketed for sale.
And then Lot 6,
Lot 6 is staying.
they're staying, okay. And they're good with all this? And
Yep.
Okay.
And the owner of Lot 1, Chad Smith, he actually owned the stuff to the east here. Some of it to the east and some of it more to the north. And we purchased that from him. I guess it's now been 2 years since we did the other phase over there. So he's finally ready to move on, I guess.
Okay. So you've been involved, well, not you personally, but I mean, this development agency has been involved with all the building that's east and
Yes.
north of that, okay.
Yep, we developed all those lots, sold most of those lots to Haven Hill Homes. And we plan for this cul-de-sac to be very similar in terms of aesthetic feel. Potentially, we'll annex it into that HOA. That HOA doesn't have common area, but it does have architectural standards and things. So the easiest would probably just be annexed as part of a second phase of that.
Okay. And those, I mean, so you're looking at the same kind of development, same style of houses, same kind of feel and all that, to just kind of blend in with the existing.
Exactly.
Okay, all right,
Yep.
all right. I'm good.
The only question that I had is one of the conditions or one of the recommendation points was because it was next to an R1 LD. But it looks like eventually from this map, because of that, the rest of these lots going down here would also possibly come in.
There's potential for that, yes.
Right. That was my only concern with that.
Okay. All right.
Any questions?
No?
Seems like it's been a while ago, there was some discussion about the through street, and did that get resolved with this Knight's Way? Is that kind of we didn't worry about, now that that's there, we don't need to have another through street, is that
That's correct. When they've extended this through, the issue was traffic circulation in this area, and that's been accommodated.
yeah.
With connecting it to Smith's Lane.
Yes.
Correct.
Smith Lane, okay.
That's there in place and working well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're ready to, I'll make a
you.
motion.
Sure.
I move that we recommend approval of a rezone of 3.3 acres at 1020 and 1034 West Smith Lane from A1 to R1 LD for Phil Holland and Wright Development. For
Second.
Newton and Chad Smith,
Sorry.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I'll second.
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Done a nice job in there. I remember when all of this started with a lot of discussion, right? It really does. It's nice.
Okay, we'll move to item number 4, final plat approval for Shady Brook subdivision, Lot 4, amended at approximately 600 North Hill Farms Lane.
We reviewed this preliminary plat just recently. Property is located out west on the north end of town. There's an existing lot here with a home on it off the end of Hill Farms. The proposal is to extend that Hill Farms roadway, put a cul-de-sac, create 3 new lots in the backyard, leaving the home in front on almost 2-acre piece of property. They received preliminary plat approval, as I said, not too long ago. They've now completed the engineering and have submitted a final plat. Just to point out, their intent with the final plat is just to plat 1 lot. They'll build the entire cul-de-sac, do all the improvements, prepare these lots for future platting, but they don't intend to sell those right now, so they'll just hold those off for tax reasons and leave them with the original property. And just so this is final plat, we'll just create 1 new lot here in the back.
Okay. Is anybody here to represent?
Mr. Ferber is here.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Seth
Good.
Ferber.
So, Seth, no new construction then, at least for the time being, right?
Just on the 1 lot.
Well, just right. Outside of that, though, nothing else, right?
Correct.
Okay. And nothing has changed. I mean, I don't have the preliminary plat here in front of me.
No, nothing's changed from the preliminary plat other than we showed all 3 lots just so you knew what the plan was.
Right.
And even though our intention was really not to develop all 3, or at least build on all 3 right now, we're going to improve them.
Kind of prep it for future.
Yeah, down the road. So for now, as far as the plat goes, it's just everything will be included in the 1 lot. Those, except for, the 2 lots will still be part of the existing home that's on the property.
Right. Okay.
So.
Any idea on a time frame as when? I mean, you're looking at. I mean, I guess it's kind of market driven.
When my dad decides he
true.
wants neighbors.
Yeah. Right.
Well,
He's okay with neighbors right now. He just
That's
doesn't really
good.
want people living in his backyard that close.
All right. That's a good answer.
Pretty honest.
All right.
So,
All right.
Are we ready?
sure.
I move that we recommend approval for the Shady Brook subdivision lot 4 amended final plat for David Ferber at approximately 600 North Hill Farms Lane.
We'll throw a twist in at you. You're now the approval body on final plat and no
Oh,
longer
that's
the
right.
recommend
So we don't have
body.
to recommend. I
Approve.
move that we approve. Thank you. Very cool change. All right. Everything else I still said correctly, I think.
Okay.
Second.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Seth.
Okay, well, we'll call to the public. Somebody has to say something. No comment?
Nothing.
Okay. Any other matters?
Just on, so maybe of note for those who are here, so what the rezone would be, based on the way it trickles to the city council, not next week, but the following meeting, which I can pull up my calendar here. July 19th would be when the city council reviews and makes a final decision on that rezone that was recommended this evening. Otherwise, the planning commission will reconvene under our typical schedule 2 weeks from now on the 28th. Other than that, I don't believe I have any reports unless there's some from the commission.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure everybody appreciates this amazing stroll. Kaysville, first one. There's a huge crowd over there. Over 40 people who are artisans.
Still open? How late
Still
does
open.
go?
It goes till 9.
They'll do this monthly.
This is going to be monthly through October on the second Thursday. Yep. And definitely several people put a lot of work into this. Lyle definitely helped on the city side. But the Studio K owner, Kay Allen, right here in that area, mammoth amount of, energy and excitement and vision for it. And Hayden Holmes from another Kaysville business did the website, gave of his time to create it, to put things together, and others. There were others too. So just a really,
That's good. That's
really
good.
a nice thing for economic development and downtown business, and really just community gathering, which are all of those things are in our general plan.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Okay, if there's nothing else.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Oh.
Thanks, man.